It was 2012, and I was living in China at the time, and actually in a business meeting in Beijing, when I pretty abruptly lost the vision in my right eye. And made my way through the meeting, figured that I probably had something in my eye, would embarrass myself. And if any of you have ever been to Beijing before, you'll know that most of the office towers have shopping malls at the bottom. So I went down to the shopping mall, walked into a lens crafters, and said, I can't see out of my right eye anymore. Can you check and see if something's wrong? The guy peered in for a minute and said, no, I don't see anything. Maybe try reading glasses. 5 doctors and 48 hours later, I was sitting with the dean of ophthalmology at one of China's big medical schools. And she said, I think you might have an apigmented uveal melanoma, but I've never seen one before, so I'm not sure. So I basically Googled ocular melanoma in a cab in Beijing on the way to the airport, and sent out a message to a group of friends saying the most published people I can find on this disease are these people called the Shields at this place called Will's Eye in Philadelphia. I'm headed to the airport now. By the time I land in 24 hours, I need someone to have gotten me an appointment. Along that path, as I learned more and more about ocular melanoma, and compared and contrasted it to my father's experience battling brain cancer about 3 years before I was diagnosed, and compared that to another good friend's experience battling a brainstem bone cancer called chordoma a few years before that, I was struck by the fact that the stories were all really similar. Can't get access to tissue samples. I can't get access to cell lines to do my tests. I can't get access to animal models to do tests. I can't do genome sequencing to learn more about this disease. And those problems aren't unique to ocular melanoma or to brain cancer or to lung cancer or to breast cancer. Instead, in many ways, I think they're most easily thought of as infrastructural problems or utility problems. Essentially, you need certain things in cancer research to be the equivalent of making sure the lights are on and the water's running. That's when we decided to create the Rare Cancer Research Foundation. And essentially what we do is we try and build services or solutions that all of these different disease-specific foundations like OMF can use to do their work more efficiently and effectively and quickly, so that hopefully we can bring new treatment innovations to patient communities, to all of us, more quickly than they would have gotten to us otherwise. We've recruited a whole Silicon Valley style technology team to try and make it easier for patients to agree online to donate some combination of a tissue sample or their tumor sample after a surgery and medical records to researchers so that we can more quickly do new development of new therapies, either because we can use it to do better genome testing, or we can create cell lines and mouse models, or we can even just use that to help more quickly match the patient based on their medical records and on their tissue sample to the treatments or combinations of drugs that could be most promising for them. All with this goal of getting more research materials available and accessible so that the doctors and the researchers who are trying to develop the next generation of treatments for us can do that work more quickly and cost effectively. Because in the process, what we can do is get a lot more people to work on this disease or this type of disease than have been doing it in the past. Right now, if you imagine yourself being that young researcher, if you see a disease that doesn't have cell lines, that doesn't have animal models, that may not have genomic information, where it's hard to find patients and match them to diseases, lo and behold, they say, I think I'll go work on breast cancer, thank you very much. But if you can find a way to make that effort easier, say, sure, here's cell lines, here's the animal models you need, we're ready to let you do the interesting work, not the work of trying to reinvent the wheel. You get to build on top of that foundation. it's much easier to attract research attention to the disease and hopefully make more progress more quickly.